idea. I will find him!
You're a breed. Men are brave.
Not about deserve. It's about what you believe.
Could've just peed on him.
Like brunch. Like, what is brunch?
The story of the Defiance is well known.
What, we some kind of suicide squad?
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
Martha!
Hello everyone and welcome back to Enter the SnyderVerse. This week we're looking at the 2020 classic Birds of Prey brackets and the fabulous emancipations of one Harley Quinn.
Fantabulous, Nathan. Fantabulous.
I'm so sorry. It's Fantabulous Emancipations of one Harley Quinn. I'm Nathan. I am one of your hosts on this show, and I'm joined by your other host.
I'm Kyle. I am suspiciously sort of on screen, but you can never see my face. That's me.
This is an audio format, Kyle. What are we on about?
I'm referencing the Joker in this movie, Nathan.
Yes, you're referencing the Joker, of course.
Because you'll remember from last episode that I was the Joker, so I'm still the Joker.
Yes. You're an idea.
I'm an idea. I'm just suspiciously out of frame at every moment in this movie.
You've always got your face away from the camera. Absolutely. So, Birds of Prey, Kyle. Mm-hmm. This is obviously your first time watching it.
As is the premise of the show. Directed by Cathy Yan, who I googled and has directed almost nothing else.
Smaller director. This was supposed to be a big step up for her in Hollywood. This film, she became quite a vocal advocate for this film when it was out. I mean, obviously, like you want, as a director, support your project, but sometimes you think directors might just be above it. Like you don't let the Twitter get you down. Mm-hmm. Oh man, the Twitter got to her on this one.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. So, what are we saying, Kyle? Thumbs up or thumbs down for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipations of one Harley Quinn?
Well, you know how this works, Nathan. It's your turn to go first this time.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Right.
Now, why would you be so cautious about wanting to go first, Nathan?
Right, okay, Kyle. So, I should tell you when it, because obviously how did I first see this movie is always, I've never seen this before, Nathan, why are you asking me? Mine's are always, I saw it when it came out. So I thought Margot Robbie being the breakout success star of 2016 Suicide Squad, it would make sense to see more of her. But also Margot Robbie's career is just, even to this day with Barbie, is still going up and up and up. But this was the Harley Quinn movie, right?
Yeah, she's a producer on this, right?
Yes, Margot Robbie, a lot of power over this project. This was her vehicle, right? A bit like The Rock with Black Adam, right? This was her project.
We're entering the Robbieverse.
Yeah, we're entering the Robbieverse. But I think that the results of that are kind of self-evident, Kyle. When I first saw it in the cinema, I was like, this is just a Harley Quinn movie, and they've just like stapled on like the IP, because maybe Birds of Prey, like a team movie, sounds more interesting than a solo. Because I think fundamentally, I actually don't really care to see Harley Quinn kind of do a lot of stuff that isn't maybe connected to other characters. Just how I feel. Not that she's not a great character, she is, but I think she works better in like a group setting. I think she is more interesting as a cog, as in a greater whole. And I found this to just be quite a barefaced play for a Margot Robbie vehicle, as opposed to a sincere, let's take a swing at the Birds of Prey. Because there was lots of chatter about, are we going to make a Gotham City Sirens movie, blah, blah, blah. Because everyone wanted a Poison Ivy and a Catwoman and those types of people, right, for the DCEU. But those are characters that have such a big brand recognition. You want to cast, like, a very talented person that can carry that character for the franchise. But you don't want to put them in the Margot Robbie vehicle, because Margot Robbie needs to overshadow everyone because of Margot Robbie vehicle. And that is pretty much how I feel about this film. And that it feels so weighed down by the need to centre everything around Harley Quinn. I'm pretty sure that in the Fantabulous Emancipations of one Harley Quinn was actually added nearer the film's release, because they could no longer pretend in like post-production that this was a Birds of Prey feature. And I just find the film very frustrating, Kyle. What do you think of Birds of Prey 2020, Kyle?
Well, Nathan, I respect you. You know, as a friend, I respect your opinion.
How the turntables.
But I think you're completely wrong. I think this movie is super fun. I had a great time. I think, in terms of all the movies we've watched so far, this is on the higher end for me, for sure.
You're
I
insane.
loved it. I think what we have here is a difference in expectations of what this movie would be. I had no expectations this movie would be anything but a Harley Quinn movie. That's what I went in expecting and wanting, and it delivered. I don't...
And you don't have issues with the very obvious choppy nature of the film. It's all like cobbled together in post.
No, and I'll tell you for why. It's because this movie feels very much like DC's counter to Deadpool. That's what they were trying to do here.
I would agree. A bit late, but I would agree.
Sure, a bit late. It's their answer to Deadpool 2, whenever Deadpool 2 came out.
Yeah. I think actually it might be the same year.
Yeah. Well, like they don't have a Deadpool. They have Slade Wilson.
No, of course, sorry,
because
of course it wasn't the same year.
No, well, yes, they have Slade Wilson in the DCU, but he's a bit of a different character.
Honestly, unironically, he'd have been more interesting.
Absolutely not. Deathstroke is so boring.
To actually add some stakes to this movie. Oh my god. Anyway, I'll let you go.
So Harley Quinn she's the narrator of the movie, right?
Yeah.
She breaks the fourth wall sometimes. I mean, she's narrating to us. She's always breaking the fourth wall, but in the movie, she sometimes stares at the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Very occasionally. And the whole movie is framed as Harley Quinn telling this story. And this movie, with its weird chopped up editing style, I think that makes perfect sense for the way that this character would tell this story in a disconnected way, focusing on strange details. I think if you're looking at this as a story that she's telling, that makes perfect sense because her mind is a bit fragmented and thinks about stuff in the wrong order.
Well, the film does indeed call out that, I should probably speak more about this person here because I haven't bothered to introduce them. That calling out it's another Death Star, Kyle, doesn't mean I'll forgive you for making another Death Star. I think that in a Birds of Prey movie, you should actually make Birds of Prey. Like, I think how you focus a lot on the brackets of this and not on the title of the film.
I focus on what the movie clearly is. The title's just a title. Like, I don't know why you're pretending you're such a Birds of Prey stan.
No, because...
You don't give a crap about the Birds of Prey.
Because in the film, Kyle, the more interesting characters are not Harley Quinn.
I totally disagree. I think Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is absolutely enthralling. She steals the scene in every single scene she's in. She's great. I love watching her.
Yeah, that's because the film doesn't do much with anyone else. I think Margot Robbie is wonderfully cast, amazingly talented, and is just brilliant as Harley Quinn, right? I don't think she's phoning it in a single scene she is in this film. But... you can be just like, this character has a roof, there's a ceiling here. I never particularly gravitate to Harley Quinn outside of a team, or if not part of a team, not with Joker, or maybe the Injustice universe not working with Bats.
You're just outnumbered in this. You're just wrong. I'm sorry, but there's a Harley Quinn cartoon show that's been running for 4 seasons where Harley Quinn is the main character.
I know.
Harley Quinn is a leading lady and has been for years.
Christ, believe me, I know, right? Not for me, right? Not for me. And I think in a team movie, I want to actually do some team building, Kyle. This isn't the solo Harley Quinn film. Not like it's supposed to be a team up film, and it's just no. I think you're probably right to a certain degree of expectations, but if we were to just go through it, there's a whole lot of stuff with the other characters in this film that's just not spoken about, even though we all know it's a thing. We speak about, Black Canary. Mm-hmm. Why are you in this film, Black Canary? What were you doing? Why?
It's a strange question to pose when Like, why is any character in any movie?
Because it's a Birds of Prey movie. That's why she's in the film, but she doesn't do anything Black Canary, though I think she has lots of promise. I believe she was supposed to get her own TV show or spin-off film as a result of this with Huntress in it, because those characters, I think, show a lot of promise in this movie.
See, this
I
is
want to
another
spend
thing
more time
where
with them.
We immediately come to a fundamental disagreement. I don't think that the supporting cast is underutilized. I think they're used just fine. I feel like
Are you kidding
this
me?
movie establishes a perfectly good case for, like, this is Black Canary, this is her deal, this is her powers that she doesn't use very often, but there's a reason for that. And
when is that reason established apart from right at the very end
she
where
does
she does one scream?
faints, which is a very clear sign of why
Because
she would do very much.
No, because she would get over that, right? I have full faith that this film shot more about her. There is one scene where Renee, the other pointless character of this film, the most pointless character of this film, literally, speaks to her and says, "Oh, your mother used to work with the GCPD." Now, as you say, Kyle, why do I give a shit about the Birds of Prey? I'm not a die-hard ride or die Birds of Prey fan. Yes, pretty true. I don't know if that's taken from the comics that this Black Canary was, like, had a mother that actually was this superhero, which is quite almost meta to, like, something like The Watchmen or something, where there was like an older generation of these superheroes. But, like, where's that in the film? That there's a character arc there, there's a story there to be had. I am distrustful of the police, I'm working with the villain. This is an aspect that is introduced and then they never do anything with it, Kyle. That's not on me. I'm not reading into that. That's the film brings that up and then just simply doesn't do anything with it. I would like to explore that a bit more. And the film makes no effort to explore that a bit. I want to spend time with the ensemble that this film is supposed to have.
But we do. I don't like... This is the same as Joker again, where I feel like we watch different movies.
She spends some time with Ewan McGregor, who's wonderful, by the way. She spends some time with Ewan McGregor, and he does things, and she stands there.
She calls Renee Montoya to warn her.
So
that's the arc, Nathan.
I don't care about Renee, but you take Renee Montoya out of the film. Or her arc is to make a phone call.
Learning,
sorry,
that she does have to. With great power comes great responsibility. She realizes that the person she's working for, he's hunting down this kid, and she has to look for this kid. So we had the scene before to establish that she knows Renee Montoya, so she can call Renee Montoya to warn her about that.
Well, let's talk about the kid, shall we?
Okay, well, sure, okay.
Cassandra Cain, Kyle.
In quotes, yes. Cassandra Cain.
In quotes, right? So we'll just the name. I have in my notes here that it's just in name only, right? But we'll drop that, okay? I won't get nearly as upset about that because, see, when you say it, like, Nathan, you don't really care about Black Canary or like the Birds of Prey. Mm-hmm. I do care to a level. I don't care about Cassandra Cain.
How could the Birds of Prey possibly be more famous to you than Cassandra Cain? Had you heard of Huntress or Black Canary before this movie? Tell me truthfully.
Yes, absolutely. Because I'll tell you why. Because I'm a big fan of the Injustice games, which definitely are different takes on these characters. And I don't mind different takes on characters, right? I'm very kind of okay to take swings with different variants, right? And I don't mean that in like a where we are now with the multiverse of craziness. But I just mean I don't mind, different swings. Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix, very different takes. Mm-hmm. But I kind of enjoy them both, for different reasons and at different levels. I don't know. I think as we spoke about the friend of the show recently, we had the conversation about the Bat family. Yeah. And my brain was just dripping like I've been submerged in this world. Comics for DC I probably know less about than I do Marvel. But I'm not a big particularly deep in the comics for either. But Cassandra Cain, anyway, not a character I really have any affiliation for, except I do know enough to know this is name only.
No,
right?
Cassandra Cain, she was the daughter of a famous assassin who trained her only to kill, didn't even train her to speak, sends her to Gotham to kill Batman. Batman realizes, hey, this kid is actually useful and has in a lot of trouble and maybe I can help her out, and recruits her to become a Batgirl, one of the several Batgirls. And this Cassandra Cain is just like a street orphan who hustles people. It's like not even close in any way.
Yeah, that's right. So she swallows a diamond,
Yes.
And Harley Quinn is working for Ewan McGregor.
Well, Harley Quinn and the Joker have broken up.
Yes.
This is the emancipation of the title.
Why have they broken up, Kyle?
Because it's a thing that happens in relationships, Nathan.
Okay, the relationship has ended because we didn't want Jared Leto.
I mean, that's a good enough reason for me. I don't want Jared Leto, so...
Yeah, lots of people didn't want Jared Leto. But we're not recasting yet. This is a Shazam problem where we're not showing his face, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think, honestly, Joker in this movie would have been more impactful, would have felt more threatening. Like almost more of a, more of a commonplace story about maybe abusive ex-partners and such.
Mm-hmm.
I have in my notes here, I don't believe that Joker and Harley Quinn live in that house.
Whatever. It's in the movie for 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, listen, nothing I have to critique about this film will circle around where they used to live, right? And she's just living life. She's not told them they're broken up because Harley Quinn's been a lot of enemies, right? Mm-hmm. In Gotham City, Harley Quinn, pretty well-known public figure. Though apparently the Joker isn't. No one knows who the Joker is.
Cassandra Cain doesn't know who the Joker is. Everyone else knows who the Joker is.
I know. Pretty stupid, though, that she doesn't know who the Joker is.
Not a perfect movie. That scene's just weird, and I don't know why it's important that Cassandra Cain doesn't know who the Joker is. It's just strange.
Maybe because if she knew who the Joker was, she would know who Harley Quinn is. And, oh, by the way, something else I just want to bring up. Harley Quinn, currently on the run from Amanda Waller.
Don't worry about it.
What do you mean? Don't worry about it. This is an interconnected DC extended universe, Kyle.
You know that they don't give a crap about continuity.
I give a crap about continuity, Kyle.
Nathan, the last DC movie we watched was Shazam, okay? We jumped from Shazam to this.
Perfect continuity. Or at the very least, it does nothing to contradict anything, which, to be fair, neither does this film. I just think this film is just sort of not plausible that this is... Not to say it's not set in the same universe, but it just makes Amanda Waller, to me, in my mind, seem a bit incompetent. Harley Quinn is not hiding.
She also seemed a bit incompetent in the Suicide Squad movie, so...
No, she didn't. She's great. Love Amanda Waller. Terrific woman. She's not a combat specialist, obviously. But,
well, all of this movie takes place over the course of, a day, a week, at most.
Yeah, I think Amanda Waller could find her in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but she would still be under the protection of the Joker.
I fully believe that if Amanda Waller wanted to make a move against a Gotham crime syndicate, she probably could.
Then why didn't she do it before? Freaking Joker's the one who broke her out of the prison.
Harley Quinn was in jail, Kyle.
Joker is the one who broke her out of the prison, so clearly the Joker has a one-up on Amanda Waller.
That's because there was corrupt prison guards, Kyle. We know about the corrupt prison guards in 2016's Suicide Squad.
Uh-huh.
There was inside help. Now, they were on the run in Gotham. Amanda Waller, even before the breakup, I think it would be definitely plausible she would get her. After the breakup, forget about it. Day one, she's at her door, right?
I mean, how much does Amanda Waller care, though, really?
I don't think she would appreciate someone getting a fast one past her. And keep in mind, Harley Quinn does return for the next Suicide Squad version, so she does get taken back.
Yeah, I know. This doesn't bother me at all. It's the same it's the same as in any of these movies. Why don't they call the Justice League? Because that's the movie, okay?
Because that's the movie, okay. Because that's the movie. It does, but it does kind of take me a little bit why the hell does everyone not know who they are? People just kind of, it's like a local scene. Everyone knows who Harley Quinn is. I have a line here. So this is after a little scene after Harley Quinn is very drunk. We have some good clubbing scenes in this film, don't we, Kyle?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I've never been to a club, so you'll have to tell me.
Right, okay. Well, we have some fun clubbing scenes in this film, and she's very drunk.
Uh-huh.
And she walks past the Acme Looney Tunes factory that turned her all acidic and pale, doesn't she?
Yeah, the Ace Chemicals plant.
Yeah. And she blows it up, Kyle, and it's just unguarded, middle of the night,
Yep.
Big CGI explosion. There's fireworks in that factory, which I find interesting.
Well, it's not completely literal.
Yeah, no, I guess, I know this film does funny animation things. Again, I'm not really I'm nitpicking those bits.
Also, it's an explosion of a big comic book chemical plant. It's not necessarily fireworks, but chemicals can burn in different colours.
So... Detective, I found this necklace. Good work, officer. Harley Quinn and the Joker broke up. This was their spot. She's just updated her relationship status.
Uh-huh. Is that like a problem?
Yeah, it's stupid.
No, it makes perfect sense. That's... Harley Quinn explained her logic to us when she blew it up, and then Renee Montoya, being a good detective, figured it out.
She found one of her forensic teams found a necklace on the floor. And said, okay, that's some Sherlock level of detective work.
It's a big golden J necklace. Who do you think it belongs to?
It doesn't need to... Even if it does belong to Harley Quinn, that doesn't mean she broke up with the Joker.
Of course it does, because she blew
No,
up
it
his
doesn't.
chemicals.
No, it doesn't. That doesn't mean anything, Kyle. That means absolutely nothing.
Nathan, I think you're a bad detective.
Kyle, they could have done it together. It could have been like a grip thing.
Then why would she leave the necklace?
Because maybe it fell off and the Joker didn't pick it up because he doesn't actually care about her.
Because she was making a statement.
We know that, Kyle. We know that.
I think this is such a nitpick because I follow this logic completely perfectly fine.
Now I know how I must have sounded when we were doing the Joker. I think you're insane. So that is kind of going a little bit round the houses because what we were really trying to talk about, and it's my fault we went off track, was Cassandra Cain. She is a pickpocket, perfectly fine. Okie doke. She takes a diamond, Kyle, from
the Salieri diamond or something like that.
From Mr. Zaz, doesn't she?
From Mr. Zaz in quotes, yes.
Mr. Zaz in quotes, yeah. At the very end, you see he's got some scars in his chest. And he's just got that in his pocket for some reason, not guarded.
Well, this is perfectly explained because Black Canary is supposed to have the diamond, but Mr. Zaz is jealous that Black Canary's getting all the attention from Black Mask, so he's like, no, I'll take the diamond because fuck you.
I mean, like that. It's just that was fine.
Look, he's an idiot. It's like you can do things, you can make mistakes. That's not a plot hole.
Yeah, no, I'm not accusing that of being a plot hole. I understand the causation of events that led to her getting it. I'm just saying that he's pretty silly, which is fine. I think the film agrees with that premise. I was just pointing it out to the audience. And she swallows the diamond when she's in the back of the police car because she doesn't want to get it confiscated. Fair enough, this all makes sense. By the way, I should say, Kyle, I know this whole time makes it sound like I am, like, just a 100% hater of this movie. It's got good bits. It's got lots of good bits in it, right?
Okay.
Like, I've got a list of good bits, Kyle. I sent you a copy of my notes. I got tons of list of good bits, right?
Nathan sent me 12 pages of notes.
Oh, hilarious. I did. A lot of it was to do with like editing and pacing and just things that I found are ridiculous. But why is Harley Quinn not killing this kid?
What do you mean?
Well, so because she is now back against the wall, everyone's trying to kill her because she's not with the Joker. She's working for Ewan McGregor, Black Mask, right?
Yep.
Because he wants to kill her and she says, no, I'm now a mercenary, here's my business card.
Yep, and they do a little Marilyn Monroe dance.
That great bit, Kyle. Great, I have it in my notes, Kyle. Part of my 12 pages of notes on this film. Great bit. I'm a fan. I like a song and dance number. I like Ewan McGregor doing a song and dance number. I love Margot Robbie doing a song and dance number. I love them doing it together, right? Terrific. But they cut it all out, Kyle. They cut it to bits. I feel this movie's just so hacked up. Let a scene breathe. Show me what you shot. Don't just cut everything together for a trailer and then go, people will just move on. I just find the film isn't like visually a satisfying piece. I think it just has nice shots for a half second and the film moves on. Let it breathe. Let me see what you made. There's so much of this film I think's cut out. The only bit of this film that I thought wasn't cut to shreds, though I do think it was cut up a little bit, was the bit with the bloody egg sandwich, Kyle. They spent so much time describing the amazingness of this sandwich, which I agree, it looked great. I loved that sandwich, Kyle. I'm annoyed that she never got to eat it until the very end of the film. I'm with her. You saw that in my notes. I loved that sandwich.
Like
but
that
it's not as important as the other bits of the film. I just cut up.
I disagree. The egg sandwich is critical to this movie, okay? Because what they're doing there is, you remember in Wonder Woman I talked about how they subverted the male gaze by having Chris Pine all sexy in a bath?
Yes.
This time they're just taking the piss out of the male gaze by applying it to a sandwich. And that's just very funny.
It's funny. And it was a great sandwich. I wanted that sandwich. I was objectifying that sandwich, Kyle. I was part of the problem, right? Me and Harley Quinn are in the same boat. Sal, what a G, right? Sal makes some of the best sandwiches in Gotham City. I've never tried it, but to see it, I know it, right? But show me the song and dance numbers that you filmed, probably at great expense. Any product photographer can shoot a nice looking sandwich advert, right? The film making required to do a big song and dance number is a lot more expensive, a lot more intense, and they just didn't do it. But to me, that's more interesting. I want to see it. Maybe it's because I look at a film in a more technical level, but show me it. Unless it's like nonsensical to the film.
I mean, it's already pretty nonsensical to the film where it is.
But it's entertaining.
Well, then you just contradicted yourself, Nathan.
Did I? Because I don't think it's that nonsensical. She is hit over the head, kind of drugged, and she's hallucinating getting hit over the head.
And I think we
like
see just enough
number.
You're talking about this scene like it takes like 5 seconds. They did play like most of the song. It's not it's just chopped up in a different way.
I think it probably precisely does take about 5 seconds to get through.
No, you're crazy. You are exaggerating to make this seem worse than it is. Is what you're doing.
No. I don't think I am, Kyle. I think you were on some higher plane when you watched this that made you incredibly forgiving. I find it insane that I'm getting the vibe you like this better than Joker.
Of course I liked it better than Joker. Joker's one of the worst movies we watched so far.
Oh, God. So, she's working for him. She's working for him, Kyle.
Yes.
And she finds Cassandra Cain. She does a very fun scene where she rips down a police station with beanbag launchers and glitter bombs. Terrific sequence, Kyle. I'm saying a nice thing about the film. You know why it's nice? Because they let it breathe. They show us what they shot. They don't just show us a montage.
I can't imagine why they would focus more on a fight scene in a superhero movie than on a musical montage. That's crazy.
I should say I think a lot of the films kind of, I think the whole telling the film out of order is completely nonsensical. I think they think it makes it more interesting, and it just doesn't.
Well, I've already explained that I do like that, so...
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't. I think film characters just disappear for 5 hours. Listen, telling a film out of order, not inherently bad thing about it. Martin Scorsese famously has done it a number of times, so has Quentin Tarantino, to great effect. I think in this film, it's just pointless. I think it's there to add some sort of sheer illusion of pre-planning competence, when I can tell this film was all made in post. I can just see the narration idea wasn't part of their plan. I can see the ADR lines coming out of people's mouths. I can see the scene that was cut and then they put a narration and like some B-roll before it to have it all add up. I can see all these little plugins, Kyle, that just scream to me, you didn't know what you were doing when you made this. And I know things can be an evolving natural process as you go in. I get that. But sometimes you're taking risks. And I don't think this paid off. And it's just insane. So... she's working for Black Mask. And she finds Cassandra Cain in a great action sequence. And why doesn't she kill Cassandra Cain?
Well, the movie does explore this later. It's because she sees herself in Cassandra Cain. And that's why she takes her under her wing at the end of the movie.
Why does she see herself in Cassandra Cain?
Because Cassandra Cain's a little kid. She does crime and wants to...
I was once a young girl too. That I must also... I am her.
Yeah. Yes. You say that in a dismissive way, but that seems like a perfectly fine rationale for me.
I was once a child.
I was once a child in a bad situation. Remember the animated segment at the start of the movie? She talks about her parents and how they sent her to like a nunnery or whatever, and the nuns sucked. And Cassandra Cain has a similar childhood of like, we see her we don't see her foster parents, but we hear them arguing, and it's clearly a bad situation. She's out pickpocketing. I think there's a lot of parallels between Harley Quinn and Cassandra Cain.
I think she has more parallels with Black Canary and Huntress, honestly. I have it in my...
Well, not with Huntress.
Oh, I have it in my notes so later on, where like Huntress has like a need to want to shield her from the violence because she's a child experiencing a lot of traumatic incidents, and she's like, just focus on this toy. I think was that a toy car? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, focus on this, nothing else. The film has that little scene, very nice scene, but the fight kind of continues around it, and you can see in the shots that they're not making any effort to have Cassandra Cain sort of out of maybe off to the side or cowering away. She's sort of just walking around the scene or like in the background. No, I mean, and by the way, I don't think she should be like involved in the heat of battle, of course not. But the film doesn't care about the words that just came out of her mouth. But that's a good moment. I can relate to Huntress there. And be like, I see based on your history here, you would have very good reason to not want Cassandra Cain to witness this violence.
All of the characters have their like relation to Cassandra Cain. That's what brings them together. That's part of the movie.
I just don't buy Harley's connection to her at all. I'm sorry.
I don't know why. They have a whole scene where they sit and they eat cereal and they watch cartoons and they bond.
I mean, they do for one scene, but she should have been trying to kill her before that. And then because, you're the girl from the roller rink in that 80-yard line.
I mean, Harley could have... Clearly Harley isn't, like, super murder lady because she doesn't go in and murder all the cops. So maybe she just doesn't want to kill a kid. I
mean, this is my problem with kind of, anti-hero movies, Kyle. Just let them be bad. I don't like the...
Part of the movie is that, like, a bunch of people are coming to kill Harley because she fucked with them but didn't murder them.
So, maybe... But yeah, but that's because she fucked with them. She got Joker to tattoo a silly tattoo in the guy's face. Like, she's a bit of a clown, obviously, it's in the name. But but she helped kill Robin.
Well, continuity aside, right? Because... trying to imagine Ben Affleck Batman showing up in this movie is hilarious again. So
yeah, he wouldn't be in this film naturally.
Yeah, we do have a Bruce in it, but it's a hyena.
I love the hyena. You know what, Kat? I'm being too. Let's pause, right? Let's pause on my hate here, right? Why don't I go through things that I liked, right?
Okay, please.
Just because I feel like I am coming at you with a machete and a baseball bat. And you're holding up a Thor and Oakenshield tree branch from The Hobbit. So
that's so specific.
I know, yeah, that's very specific. Not
like Captain America shields. You gotta go with Thor and Oakenshield, sure. Okay.
It's more regal, Kyle. I think Oakenshield's a really cool name.
Okay.
So hyena, great addition. I love that they gave Harley Quinn her hyenas.
Well, one of them.
One of them. I apologise. And I really like the gag where she's like, I named it after that hunky Wayne guy. Not knowing, obviously, that there's Batman.
Yeah.
Great gags.
I think that's from the comics.
It is from the comics, right? But Harley Quinn. See, that's how good Margot Robbie's cast. I'm calling her by the character name. She just sells it so well. This film, and all its weird creative decisions where it changes stuff, I think that it nailed some bits like that, some gags, just perfect. What else did I like in this film, Kyle?
The fight scenes.
I enjoyed the combat choreography. I enjoyed Margot Robbie going around on roller skates at the end. I thought that was quite fun. I love Ewan McGregor's look through. I think he isn't doing a good American accent, though I will say that issue faded as the film went on. I adjusted to it, but I could always hear
He's
an
having
evil British
so much
accent.
fun in this movie.
He's having a lot of fun. I think he's in the wrong film. I can get to Black Mask eventually, but just to speak about Ewan McGregor specifically in the role, I think he looks great. I think his outfits are amazing. I think the costume department, like, you know how we talk about how Oscar-winning movie or just Suicide Squad. I think this film for costumes easily also could have got some sort of Oscar.
I really like the aesthetic of this movie. It has what? I don't want to describe it. It's like a trash glamour look to it. That's the best way I can describe it.
That is a good way to describe it. Yeah, I would say that. I think that I love Ewan McGregor and his eyeliner, like his slick back hair. I like the mask.
Doesn't wear it
enough. But it's very like Marvel TV, you know?
Yes.
I kind of like that Zaz, even though it's not maybe a good incarnation of Zaz, I quite enjoy that he's just like his lackey somehow isn't his driver.
Who's maybe gay.
He reminds me of... Do you remember in The World Is Not Enough, Kyle?
Oh God, which one's that?
That's the Robert Carlyle Bond movie where he's the bald villain. It's got Christmas Jones in it, Kyle. With the nukes. I
remember the name Christmas Jones.
It's got the nukes in it, Kyle. They go to the they go to the caviar factory. And Robbie Coltrane. Remember Robbie Coltrane, Kyle?
I think I've only seen this movie once when I was a kid.
Hagrid,
so my memory's a bit hazy.
Hagrid, Kyle.
I know. He drives the dial-a-bus. I remember.
Oh, I'm talking about the wrong movie. I've just described two different films.
Well, that would really be helpful.
Yeah. So what I'm going for here is Robbie Coltrane in the Pierce Brosnan era Bond movies has like a bleach blonde haired lackey with like gold grill teeth in his mouth, a bit like Jared Leto's Joker, and he's like a complete weasel. And like he sells them out to the baddies at one point, right?
It's funny. We're playing through Far Cry 6 right now, and there's a character who looks exactly like that in that game.
Yeah, you're right. But I think that this is who this character reminds me of. Like, I totally feel like this guy would be the guy that would sell Black Mask out to the Joker or something. Like, you just can't trust him. I don't think, like...
Yeah, to be honest, like, I don't give a crap about Victor Zsasz as a character. He's a weird murderer man who carves scars in himself. You can take a lot of liberties with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not critiquing it. I think I just quite enjoy it. Right? I quite enjoy that he's just like sort of his lackey, but the film doesn't really play on maybe you shouldn't trust him. The film kind of tries to get you to believe he's full committed to Black Mask. I don't think this person necessarily would be.
I mean, I think the movie very strongly implies that those two are having sex with each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Well, because this film again cut the shit. I think a lot's cut out. As I mentioned before, Marilyn Monroe, Harley, great look. Black Mask, love it more the whole sequence. It gave Moulin Rouge vibes, Kyle. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Harley Quinn look as she robs
Winstead's.
What?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead's good in this movie.
Yeah. Almost forgot she was in it. Not her fault. This Harley Quinn is now Fortnite skin. The look when she storms the prison.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. You can cut out all these hums and haws.
No, this is all staying.
No, it can't stay in, Kyle.
As you struggle painfully to think of things you like about the movie.
It doesn't sound professional, Kyle. This needs to sound professional. I said Doc seems like a nice man. I like that Doc's older out, so like, why the fuck would you have any loyalty to Harley fucking Quinn? Yeah, I've ran out of nice things. Maybe I've got more.
Okay.
Maybe I've got more that will come to me as our discussion evolves. I love that Harley got her sandwich at the end. There you go.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good. I don't even know where to begin with the counter. I mean, I've been trying to counter you every front here because I think your interpretations of this movie are bizarre. But you said there that like Huntress is barely in the movie. She's in the movie about as much as you need her to be.
I mean, they just kind of keep her around at the end, just kind of cause. Later on, they will justify it with she has that nice moment with Cassandra that the film will go on to do nothing with. But before that moment, she has no...
Why would someone want to stick around to protect an innocent kid? That's a crazy motivation. I can't imagine why someone would want to do that.
She immediately did try to leave already. She did just try to walk out.
That was before the army of goons showed up.
I feel like it was after. I thought she was like, no, I'm away. This is your deal.
No, that's when they're all just arguing with each other.
Well, the crossbow killer. Oh, I like that. I liked how she couldn't mark herself.
Yes,
I quite enjoyed that.
That was a fun gag.
I enjoyed that.
When you cut to her in the mirror.
It was big.
And she's practicing.
It was big Pink Panther Steve Martin vibes.
I mean, I've never seen that movie.
I've never seen those movies. Okay, yeah. So I quite enjoyed Huntress. I would like to have seen more. I think that's an interesting character that had this DCEU not crashed and burned more of. And I don't know, I just feel everything is just sort of dangling stuff in front of your face. You know what, Kel, watching this, I think you might love Madam Web.
How dare you?
You've never seen it, Kel. You might love it. You always have the contrarian opinions.
This is not me having the contrarian opinion this time, okay? I reject your hype. You're the contrarian this time. I'm looking at the critics and audience scores right now. 78% across the board. That's a positive, good score, okay? You're the weirdo this time.
Okay, Kyle. Okay. I'll take you at your word. And I know this is all publicly available information.
And, okay. I will concede a little bit that Renee Montoya is, like, in terms of plot relevance,
pointless.
Less relevant. Not pointless. She's there to be an obstacle for Harley Quinn. That's a point.
The obstacle is everyone trying to kill her.
Yes, well, she's one of the obstacles.
She has
right?
one runaway sequence from her. What makes her grievance greater than any other grievance?
She murdered a sandwich, Nathan.
Murdered her sandwich. She murdered the male gaze, Kyle.
No, really, she's there in the early parts of the movie to represent that the police are also on this case, albeit lacklusterly. But by the end of the movie, she turns in her badge and gun and she joins the team, right?
The team that Harley Quinn's not a part of, but it's about Harley Quinn. Right, okay.
She's a part of it in this movie, okay?
This is like an origin story for an origin story.
Whatever, man.
Okay. I mean, people that like good movies should care.
I do like good movies, which is why I like this movie. You can throw in your little sassy comments all the time. I still like the movie.
No, I know. Okay, I know. I am being incredibly belligerent, and I do apologise to you personally. I do not apologise to this film. Continue. I apologise to you.
But, like, she can still be in the movie because she's a fun character who I like seeing on screen. I like this gruff detective lady who doesn't take no shit and has to wear bad t-shirts to work. I think all that stuff is just entertaining on the first surface of it.
So, see, I don't. Not at all.
Well, why do you just hate women, Nathan?
Maybe
that's what's going on here, you know?
You are, okay, outside of that, right? Like, other people hate this film for every reason I've just described. I hate this film because I hate women. Right? That's
We're not the same.
You're not the same. You're not the same, right? Clip that if I ever become famous. You can use that in context.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely. Clip it, remix it.
Yeah, clip it, remix it, use it whatever you like. This is the episode that's going to break us. This is the episode where, like, you thought we were going to disagree on, like, other films, Kyle. I think this is going to be the magnum opus.
Oh, no, let me see. I think the Snyder Cut's going to be another big one, if I had to guess.
I don't know, actually. I think you might be surprised what I have to say about that.
Okay. Nathan, it's more fun when we fight. We do, you know that.
Yeah,
you can understand that.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. I'm being incredibly belligerent. I'm making content, Kyle.
I think this is a very feminist movie, Nathan. And not in, like, having, like, a statement about feminism, just in it's very clearly a movie made by women with a lot of stuff for women in it.
Yeah.
Because Wonder Woman is a bit of, like, Wonder Woman's a good movie, but it's a very, like, idealized version of what a woman is.
Wonder Woman's what I call a 4-quadrant movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You get your male appeal, you got your woman appeal, you got your family appeal.
Mm-hmm. Well, this movie has so much swearing in it. This is not a family movie.
No, it's not. Which I found quite. Actually, I applaud the film for that. I really
absolutely.
I didn't remember this film being so brash. Actually, it honestly it surprised me, and I don't mean surprise me in like they're just trying to be edgy. No, I'm one of those arseholes, Kyle, that believe in an artist's vision, right? And if this is the movie they wanted to make, more power to them. Though studio interference is warranted on some things.
Yeah, no, but sometimes a woman is Wonder Woman, and sometimes a woman is Harley Quinn. You know, it's just a trash lady living in a tiny apartment, you know, with a hyena eating cereal on the couch.
Yeah, all that's great. I love the hyena. I think it's so clever, and I know it is of the comics and not an original idea to this movie, and thus I shouldn't be giving credit to this film. But I don't know. I think another studio, by another studio I of course mean Marvel, would be too scared to give their main protagonist a hyena pet that sits and giggles with them. It's too stupid.
I don't know why you're so in love with the hyena.
I think it's just.
I appreciate it.
I think because it's so clever. Because the hyena laughs. Because that's what hyenas' little noises are, right?
That's why she gets pet hyenas. Yes,
and it's great. It's just, I think it's a perfect little novelty that's not so crazy that it doesn't make sense, but also not so boring that they haven't done anything. You know, it's that perfect sweet spot where it just
you know, in the comics, Falcon has a pet falcon, right?
Well, yeah, but that's just a drone in the MCU.
Yeah, and he can talk to birds in the comics as well, which is such a shame that they never carried that over.
The closest Marvel got to that was, like, giving Ant-Man giant ants playing the drums.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. There's other scenes, like, I think the scene where Black Canary stops Harley Quinn from being raped is, like, kind of an uncomfortable scene, but also a neat scene, just kind of an interesting scene.
So,
You know?
I have a question about that scene. Not criticism. Questions. No, I actually do have a criticism about Black Mask watching that unfold, because the set doesn't line up. It feels like they're breaking like 180-degree rule in a way that's not quite obvious.
I mean, I found it a little bit distracting, but I understood what was happening.
So when but that's not really my question. That's just another thing that I'll use against this movie. She comes out of the club and she sees the obvious, man abusing a woman who's, had too much to drink moment, right? Yeah. She gets in the car, then the van rolls up, and the vibe sort of changes. It feels like it becomes less seedy and becomes more like he's not taking advantage of her because he's a sleazy guy in a bar. He wants to kidnap her because it's Harley Quinn and will get some sort of money for it. Like, I feel like I
don't think that was the implication.
I see, that's kind of the vibe I got. The second I saw that van reversing up, I was like, okay, this isn't suddenly... They've sort of given up on the sleazy vibe and it's now become like criminal underworld. I don't quite know how... It still
felt sleazy to me. It just made it was more organised sleaze than you'd originally thought.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There was something more feels a bit more relatable and impactful about... Or not relatable, but more like, ripped from the headlines than getting the heart of criminal mastermind getting shoved in the back of a van by potentially an organised crime group that are looking to maybe get some sort of financial gain from kidnapping Joker's ex-girlfriend and wanted criminals of the federal government.
There's more of a line of, like, the guy comes and is like, hey, isn't that Joker's girl? And he's like, not anymore. with sleazy implications to the way he said it.
Yeah, okay, yes, I remember that. I remember that line now. Yeah, you're correct. I withdraw, Kyle. You see that you've won this battleship.
Oh, that feels nice. Oh, I got a rush there.
I withdraw. You've taken this hillside.
Shall we talk about Black Mask some more?
Let's talk about Black Mask some more.
I Ewan McGregor, one of our boys.
One of us. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Very weird to hear him do an American accent. He's not good at it. But, he's trying something in this film, and much like Mr. Zsasz, Black Mask is such a D-tier Batman villain. Like, who cares? Do whatever you want with that character.
Isn't this the film where he met Mary Elizabeth Winstead and cheated on his wife with her and left his family for her?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that detail. I did know it's where they met, but I didn't know about all that other stuff.
Yeah, this is oh boy. Yeah, I love Ewan McGregor, but his PR team are, honestly, they're gods, because the fact that they were able to protect him from the wave of sort of hate that was sort of just washed up against the rocks, because people had a lot of issues with him, because I think he does have like a whole family unit that he left for Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I believe.
Okay.
It's quite it's a story.
But as an actor, he's very good.
He's an actor. He's great in this film. I love Black Mask.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, Black Mask in the comics, as far as I know, he's basically just a regular crime boss who has a black mask. That's it. Yeah. He's just a mobster with a gimmick.
Yeah, pretty much.
So taking him and making them this weird, eccentric murder man, fine, cool.
I like that he takes faces off people. Like, I'm a fan of all this.
See, that was a bit much for me, because that's a very Joker thing to do.
Is it?
Taking faces off people.
Is that something Joker does?
Joker takes his own face off and staples it back on again at one point.
Yeah, okay, but I feel like cutting people's faces off is a bit more generic horror. Like, I've seen horror movies that do that.
Sure, I don't know.
It's
maybe it's just me being squeamish about gore.
Yeah, but possibly. I don't know. I feel this is fairly generic psychopath stuff, But
yeah, you said earlier that you think, like, you would prefer this movie if this was Joker instead of Black Mask.
I think so, yeah.
I disagree with you, Nathan. I think as a villain for this movie, I think Black Mask is a good choice, because he's
nothing. You can do anything with him.
Well, part of that, but he's someone who kind of, like, how do I put this?
Go ahead.
He's someone who wants to take advantage of Harley Quinn, and you can You can interpret that however you want, right?
Diamond's our girl's best friend, Kyle.
He certainly wants to take advantage of Black Canary. That's a whole thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Which, I'd say, he's very upset when he finds out she's a traitor. Did that take you by surprise? He's, crying about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's so infatuated with himself, he can't stand rejection.
Yeah, sure. That sounds about right.
I totally sort of buy, he heard someone laughing about something unrelated, and he's like, stand up on the table, I'm going to have your friend cut your own dress off.
Yeah,
he's just
he's a big sexist.
Yeah, I actually
is.
think he is in another movie. I think he.
I don't think that's
I
the
think
case.
he could be really sinister, and the scenes that are him without any of the protagonists of the film, apart from Black Canary, I think he is genuinely quite a scary character. Whereas I just don't really care about the stakes of this film, apart from the scenes where he's being villainous to other people. I don't know. I don't care about Cassandra Cain. I fully believe that just get the diamond out of her. Fucking hell. Drop her. Kill her even. Harley Quinn said, I don't have a problem killing you in the grocery store. Kill her then.
Yeah, but she wasn't. She was saying that, but that doesn't mean she actually meant it. As evidenced by the fact that she doesn't kill her.
Yeah. Also, something else I could bring up is they do nothing with the laxatives. You bought a shit ton, then you just sort of, you pun, and then you just don't do anything with it.
They make a joke about it in the restaurant.
Right.
They're like, I gave her laxatives, I gave her print juice, and she still hasn't shot herself
Right
yet.
at the end of the movie, the film says, "Oh, we done this." No, he didn't. No, you done it. You might have done it during the credits, or just before the credits. Sorry, after Black Mask is dead, you started to do it. But when you went back to that apartment, you certainly didn't sit down and get the ball rolling.
Do you need a scene where we see the girl drink the laxatives? I can buy that happened.
Yes, Kyle, I do need it because that would move the plot along. Instead, we can stall. I know. Time is linear, Kyle, and the film keeps happening, Kyle, and that in itself should inherently be plot, right? But it's all just bullshit. I don't want to go to an abandoned fairground, Kyle.
You want to watch a 13-year-old girl shit her pants is what you want to do.
I want this story over. I don't care about her having a diamond inside her. I want us to get back to some Black Mask drama. That's what I want.
But part of the Black Mask drama is that if she turns into this kid, he's just gonna kill her. That's part of the plot.
I don't care about the kid, Kyle. I'm not invested.
That's just a failure of you to engage with the movie.
I'm not invested, Kyle. No, I think the film should make me engaged. I just don't care.
Well, it did. For me. It's not my fault that your brain doesn't work properly, okay?
I think my brain works very well. I think I am on the highest of intellects. I think I'm too smart for this film.
Joker.
I love Joker. So, but yeah, listen, I think as much as I enjoy Ewan McGregor, I do think that it would have been more catchy if Joker is trying to hunt Harley down and Harley is on the run from Joker, right? It could be, I think that could be more interesting.
But the whole thesis of the movie is the emancipation of Harley Quinn. If it's just the Joker, that undermines the whole point. She's going out on her own and she doesn't need the Joker.
Yeah,
and if the Joker is still around, then
what I'm telling you is she is on the run from Joker. She knows she doesn't need him. The Joker is coming anyway. It's about breaking free from an abusive relationship. I think that would be more compelling than this, where she just got dumped and then she's crying about it, which might be relatable to the demographic that maybe this film's trying to advertise for in the cinema. But I don't. Well, she got dumped and then she's weeping about it, and then we're just moving on. Do something with. You've got a Joker in this universe. The movie's called Birds of Prey. I feel like it just sort of doesn't use the resources at its disposal and does something less interesting.
I don't know how to argue with that because it's just a fundamentally flawed idea of what the movie is.
I don't think so. I get what the film's going for, Kyle. I don't think me and you are even necessarily saying different things on the level of what this film is about. I mean, I think that where I see a wasted slot in a release schedule, you see
a good movie.
Yeah, a good movie. I just think that they could have used better ingredients.
The movie is about how Harley doesn't need the Joker. If you have the Joker in the movie, then not even like within the movie, sure, whatever, but with outside of the movie, from like a marketing perspective, you're still saying like Harley Quinn still needs the Joker.
Oh yeah, and
which maybe you would argue is true, but it's not true. So having them not be in the movie just makes more sense for what the movie is trying to do.
I will allow you to have that opinion. I kind of am of the villainous perspective, where I just fundamentally enjoy Harley Quinn Joker things. This film could be metatextually trying to say Harley Quinn as an intellectual property, as a franchise character, does not need the Clown Prince of Crime. She is her own thing, audience. The mainstream people out there, just so you know, she ain't just the Joker's girlfriend. She's her own thing, and that's how we're going to market it. That's how we're going to shoot it. If that is the goal of this film, then, I mean, you could. It was a success, I would say. I think there's, especially over the last 10 years, which I know this film isn't 10 years old, there's definitely been a lot more movement to make Harley Quinn seem more independent from the Joker. But in this universe, we never really get Harley Quinn and the Joker together, ever. We get half of it in Suicide Squad, and then that's it.
Well...
And because you're building this universe, like, give us some of the best stories. You're denying yourself the story.
Nathan, we're 8 movies into this universe. Our second movie was Batman v Superman, okay? Like, it on the grand scheme of things, this franchise is all about not setting things up. So who cares? Who cares?
I just think it's...
Honestly,
it's
just tell interesting stories.
I just think it should... Well, yeah, that's what the Joker was. I think that films like this shut the door behind you to tell another story about it. That you can't now tell the happy or the toxic relationship story between Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Sure you can.
Make a prequel.
You can do prequels.
Make a prequel. I think that the DCEU was trying to just run forward at this point. It was trying to...
Oh, yeah.
All about rushing, and I just think it's a shame. I think it's a great shame.
Well, I'm sorry that you hate fun. I
do hate fun. I do hate fun.
That's
also true. It is also true that I'm a big hater of fun.
Okay. Would you like to know what we're doing next, Nathan?
Are we finished talking about the film?
I don't know. Do you have more to say? That felt like we were done.
I have so much more to say.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Huntress, her family were killed by Russian mob mafia, and then one of...
I don't know if they were Russian.
Oh no, I forgot she goes to Sicily, right?
Yeah, she goes to Sicily.
She's killed by another Gotham mafia family. For some reason in my head I thought it was a Russian name.
No, it's the usual mafia bosses. It's the Carmines.
No, the Falcons and the Carmines weren't brought up at all in this
film.
I thought it was very strange, actually.
Was it not the Falcons and the Carmines?
Nope.
Did I? Okay.
No, I thought it was very weird. So I was like, who owns the rights to those family names? Who don't you want to pay? This is how I felt my brain works. I'm like, why aren't you using that as an option? What is the reason behind not using that creative decision?
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the goons takes pity on her, which is fine. You can have a sympathetic goon. But then his family happens to be expert assassin trainers and trains the crossbow killer. And is that from the comics, Kyle? I will concede to not knowing anything about Huntress in the comics.
I'm fairly sure that's from comics, that she was trained by the Mafia to be a Mafia killer.
But she wasn't trained,
and
she
then
was trained by like, the Mafia's personal life family.
I mean, they condensed it a bit, but usually it is the case that she's trained by Mafia folks.
Right, okay.
For the purposes of hunting down Mafia people, and then Batman approaches her and says, you could use your powers for good instead,
Very good, very good. Yeah, so, Kyle, what was the... What do you think this film's impact has been on the DCEU?
What do you mean by that?
Like, as I spoke about earlier on, there was talks about spin-offs happening from this, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that these characters in this film could have supported further storytelling, or do you think this film is a firmly good, okay, we don't need to revisit this?
I would happily see more movies with these characters.
Okay, but do you think the film warrants it?
Yes. I don't know what kind of question that is. This feels like a very leading question. Why don't you say what you want to say, Nathan?
Well, Kyle, what I'm saying is yes, I do. I think there should be more. As I've said, I think I've said ad nauseum, Kyle, I think there should be more of the characters in this film, because we were cheated in this movie and didn't actually get them.
But you left the movie with the impression of liking these characters.
I did. I wanted more, Kyle. I wanted more.
Well, then, I don't see how that's a failure.
The Five Nights at Freddy's movie, Kyle. That's why. That's just
a theory, Nathan.
That's just to say, Kyle, a film that I hated, but I'm happy it's getting a sequel because it's a swing at it to get it right. You know, sometimes films that you hate but love the concept of, you're like, please succeed just enough to make another one where you can correct the mistakes, you know? Mm-hmm. And I would have liked to have seen there, in my opinion, many mistakes corrected for a sequel.
Well, I'm assuming this movie was a big flop because 2020 is COVID year. But...
Well, Kyle, what's interesting about that, Kyle, is it came out in February 2020.
Oh, that's right at the start.
No, it was like a month before. I know it's called...
No, it started in like January, did it not?
They started in 2019, Kyle, technically speaking, but it did not hit the world until like March, right?
Okay.
And yes, films have a leading big run, right? But this film made $205 million at the box office. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not great, right? That's worldwide, I should say. I think I said that. Its budget was $84 million, so it definitely made its money back. Yeah. I found it quite bizarre that they never tried to do more with this, but I quite like everything like the Trench spin-off. DC was just...
It's the case with all of the DC stuff.
Yeah, like they just always drop stuff. I always find it annoying with the things I like in movies are the things that aren't continued with. What are we talking about next, Kyle?
Well, next, we're staying on the lady hype train because it's Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, I think we're going to be in firm agreement about that one. Who knows, though?
Oh,
Who knows?
That'll be nice.
Who knows?
To agree on something again.
No, it'll be boring.
At least we're done with clowns, you know?
I don't know, Kyle. I think we've got some clowns coming along. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, or listening, should I say, to this episode of Enter the SnyderVerse. You, as always...
You don't know, maybe they've just been sat there watching the audio visuals this whole time.
I do that sometimes. I enjoy looking at the images that you place into each little fragment. I enjoy it. I think you put a lot of work into that, and I enjoy watching going, oh, what's that image? And what's that image? And I enjoy doing that. Because I'm boring, Kyle. And I hate fun. And yes, as always, you can find me at Nathan Tinney on Twitter, on Threads, on Hive, on Blue Sky, on Mastodon. I activated my Mastodon, Kyle.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's very exciting. You can also find me at that on Instagram as well. Kyle, where can they find you?
People can mainly find me on YouTube at Kyle the Scot, where I do video essays and game critiques and other such things. And all the social medias, well, not all the social medias that Nathan just mentioned, a couple of the social medias that Nathan just mentioned, the big ones like Hive, obviously. That's where you can find me.
That's where you can find you. You can also follow the show at Enter the DCEU on Twitter. No other platforms currently in use. But that is where I will run that account usually. Kyle does not touch it. Kyle hates social media, as he should. As he should. As he should. He lives a better life than me, right? And we respect each other, and that's all there is to it. So thank you so much for listening, or watching, if you're inclined, and you can hear us next week in the next episode.